On today's episode, we've got a beautiful farro and garbanzo bean skillet packed with flavor and aroma to dazzle the senses. This is going to be your next favorite meal. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. We are a mostly whole food, vegan cooking channel. We do some product reviews. Sometimes there's some episodes with Tim, baking with Tim, fermenting with Tim, sprouting with Tim. If you like what you hear so far, please hit that like button. Show us some love. And please think about subscribing and becoming part of the Plant-Based Dads channel. And yes, that's a ladder on my patio. There's another DIY project going on in the patio. We do have a lot of DIY subscribers because we did a lot of DIY stuff on this channel, but we've now moved that stuff to a different channel. The name of that channel is called DIY Project Guys. And if you look for DIY Project Guys channel on YouTube, it should come up. I'm going to put a link below the video to that channel. So if you're doing DIY stuff, you can follow us there. And I'll also have a link at the end of this video where you can click on to take you right there. Do you like getting these videos every Monday? You could get them early before everyone else if you become one of our Patreon members. Our Patreon members help us with monthly support that allows us to, put the show together, do the editing, buy the materials, and get our message out about how amazing a plant-based way of living really can be for everyone. If you've ever wanted to support the show, if you ever thought about how can I help, this is how you can do it. Our Patreon members allow us to do that, and they really work with us to bring this message to the general public. It's a team effort, and we could absolutely use your support. There's a link below the video on how you can become a Patreon member. We hope to see you there. And if you still can't get enough of me, Lexx has a gaming channel called Gaming with Lexx. There's going to be a link right here. Gaming with Lexx is just a channel where Lexx and I play video games. He's actually doing most of the playing, and I'm just doing the commentary and asking questions. So it's a lot of fun. I don't have to bake anything. It's kind of, one of the highlights of my week. And sometimes he puts out like 3 videos a week. So he's really busy on that channel, and it's a chance to see the two of us interact together. It's a lot of fun. Today's a big day. It's the 3rd of May. It's the first Monday of the month. And the first Monday of the month is when we start our 21-day 50-50 plate challenge. If you're looking to jump into a high-carb, low-fat, whole food way of eating, the starch solution mostly, then this is the way to do it. In the Facebook group and on YouTube, we're doing 21 days sticking to this food plan, the 50-50 plate. We're talking about what we're eating, we're sharing recipes, we're supporting each other, and we're just keeping each other accountable. It's a lot of fun. We're also doing on Instagram too. I'll post my photos there often, and you can see what I'm eating there. So join us in the Facebook group, join us on Instagram. All right, today's video is again out of one of my new favorite cookbooks, Perfectly Plant-Based. I'm gonna have a link to this book below. I love this book. You've heard me talk about it before. My friend Nini girl got it for me. She bought herself one and she got me one also. The last recipe we did was out of this book, and this recipe is also. We've been making this for about a month now. It is so good. And this is such a filling, carb-enriched meal. And when you eat this meal, you are satisfied. Like, there's no two ways about it. I would serve it with some broccoli on top, or maybe some Brussels sprouts, or a side of green beans or something, or maybe even a salad. A salad will go really good with this. So this is definitely half of your 50-50 plate if you're doing the 50-50 plate. Otherwise, it's an amazing staple starch meal. It's easy to make. It's all done in one pot. I can't wait to show you what I did. Let's get to the food. We're starting off with a non-stick skillet. I'm going to pour in just a little vegetable broth for some no oil sauteing. I'm going to let the pan heat up a little bit, and then I'm adding 1 medium yellow onion diced. After that, I'm adding 2 garlic cloves minced. Then I'm going to stir this up a little bit, get it all combined, and let it saute for about 5 minutes until the onions become translucent. You can see it's doing its thing here. If you need to add more broth, then go ahead and do that. Remember, we're not using oil to saute, so you may need to continue to add a little bit of broth. You don't want the aromatics to stick to the pan. After about 5 minutes, when the onions are translucent, we're going to add 2.5 cups of low-sodium vegetable broth. Next, we're adding 1 cup of organic farro. For our spices, we have a teaspoon of oregano, a half a teaspoon of fennel seed, a half a teaspoon of dried rosemary, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. We're going to dump those right in. Next, I'm adding just a pinch of salt. You can skip this step if you want. Then I'm going to stir all this to get it nice and combined. After that, I'm gonna bring it up to a boil. I'm gonna keep kind of stirring to get everything from the edges in. And then once it comes to a boil, I'm gonna turn the heat down and let it simmer for 25 to 30 minutes. You wanna let it simmer until all of the water has been absorbed by the farro. You can see here, as I'm moving the spatula around, the farro has absorbed all the liquid. It's ready to move on to the next step. Next, we're adding a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and we did drain the can. Normally when you add diced tomatoes, you don't drain the can. But for this recipe, we did. Next, I'm adding a 15-ounce can of garbanzo beans. You can just use regular garbanzo beans in the can. I used black garbanzo beans because I had them left over from another recipe. But any beans will work as long as they're already cooked. Next, I'm adding a cup of freshly washed spinach. And now I'm adding a quarter of a cup of fresh basil, all chopped up. I'm gonna attempt to use my spatula to get all this folded in, but it's gonna take a while because this is not a big pan. You can see stuff's just flying out of the pan. I probably needed something a little bigger. You can see here, it's kind of working in. It's starting to wilt a little bit. It's getting a little easier, but there's still a lot to work in. So I'm gonna keep on going. After about 5 minutes of continuing to work with this, you can see it's coming together really nicely here. Don't give up. Now I'm gonna give it a little taste, see how we're doing. And it's good. Now it's time to plate up. I'm just gonna spoon it out here, and I'm gonna top it with some diced scallions. Look at that, folks. It is ready to eat. It's beautiful. I can't wait to dig in. This looks absolutely amazing. It smells so good. The fennel, if you've ever had Italian sausage, I grew up eating Italian sausage, there is a distinctive smell from the fennel that is absolutely enticing. And the fennel seeds being in here, that just does it. It doesn't taste like Italian sausage, but it gives you kind of that robust meal flavor that, wow, I'm gonna eat something that's really satisfying, and this is it. I mean, just look at this texture. You've got that beautiful farro, you've got those amazing black chickpeas, what a great contrast. You've got the greens, you've got the tomatoes. Not only does it smell amazing, it looks so appetizing. Let's dig in and see how it tastes. So good. Wow. Guys, this is so delicious. Wow. So this is not a light meal. This is a very hearty, filling meal. You're gonna eat this and be like, wow, I'm satisfied and I'm not hungry for a while. If there's one recipe I've made in the last few months that I think you should try, it's this one. I'm serious, you're gonna love this meal. I'm ready to eat this whole bowl, it's so good. All right, folks, that's our video for today. Farro and bean skillet, right out of the book, Perfectly Plant-Based. There'll be a link below to buy the book. Hopefully it's not just the Kindle edition anymore, but lately that's been it. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell, and you'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Monday, unless it's a something with Tim, baking with Tim, sprouting with Tim, fermenting with Tim. Those will be on Saturday. And please leave a comment below. Have you made anything out of this book? Have you been able to buy it? A lot of people complained when I put the link in last time that all they could get was the Kindle edition. That's all Amazon has now. It's a really popular book, but keep trying till you get it. It's absolutely worth every dime, and I can't thank Nini girl enough for getting it for me. She's amazing. And let me know down below if you're joining me for the challenge. I absolutely need your help. I can't do this alone. All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.